Speaker, there was a time I came to Mtituandei. I went to Mtituandei ward, Mr. Speaker, when we were commissioning a fence that separates the animals from Sapo West, that keep on disturbing the people, Mtituandei, Masongaleni, parts of Vingon Zambada, and also Dhange ward. They even come up to Mapindini ward in Makueni constituency, Mr. Speaker, looking for water. Because sometimes the other river water gets some contamination, which the animals actually, they smell and they resist to drink that water. So they end up looking for water from estate, Mr. Speaker. I witnessed, Mr. Speaker, a family where they had saved a lot of money to buy storing tanks for water. When they harvested the water from the roofs, Mr. Speaker, elephants came looking for water. And they destroyed the 10-liter tanks, Mr. Speaker. Taking those people very steps backward, Mr. Speaker. We cannot get food from Mtituandei, the lower part, and also Masongaleni because of these animals, the elephants, and they look for water, not food. It is water they come looking for. And Mr. Speaker, we have source of water 20 kilometers away from Mtituandei, from Masongaleni, Ispingo Zamani, and the Dhange ward, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I am proposing this. We have demonstrated several times. One day, a young man was shot by the game rangers at Mtituandei. We went there and we demonstrated with stage.
No, he was not shot in Mtituandei. He was shot in the Savo West National Park.
Yes, that is the issue, Mr. Speaker. We did some demonstration. Mr. Speaker, when Taita Taveta wanted to take some part of Makueni County, Mr. Speaker, we went there. And Mr. Speaker, we succeeded. We pushed the issue of Dhange ward through this assembly. And Mr. Speaker, we saw some proof. We pursue to adopt this statement as a report in this assembly, Mr. Speaker, we demonstrate. Because the member for Vingon Zambana said, there is construction of a third water pipeline. Until the government knows that we or people of Makueni also need water. And that is the route we are going to take. And it's the shortest route for the national government to understand. The shortest route. Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members need facilitation next week to arrive at Musimba Springs so that we can stop the construction of this third pipeline. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maniki, that is not the best approach. If they get their share, we also our share. So it's not a matter of life and death. They get their share, we get our share.
No. We have we are not saying they should not get water. But if they get water, we should also get water first, because the springs are within Makueni County, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we are constructing a dam at Thwake River, Mr. Speaker, we are only supposed to take 70%. And 30% goes down. So the Musimba Spring, we are supposed to get 70% of that water. That is the one which is going to go to Mombasa. That is the law. And I had the chair quoting the 2002 Water Act. We should look at those acts properly so that, but the end point is that we have to move to that place on Monday next week. Thank you.
Chair, make your concluding remarks so that we can make a decision. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I love the energy in this particular matter exhibited by members. And Honorable Speaker, I was the substantive chair in the last session. And this matter came up, Honorable Speaker. But there was completely no follow-up on what we are supposed to do. Honorable Speaker, without laying blames, the first question in this statement, the department actually states that we should allocate funds for feasibility study. Well, that should have been the starting point. As we stand now, Honorable Speaker, we don't have a feasibility study, we don't have designs, we don't have anything to show that we even have interest in that particular water, except this statement, Honorable Speaker. This is the only paper we are holding. So, Honorable Speaker, even if we say we are going to demonstrate and demand that the water resource, which of course originates from Makueni, should not be consumed elsewhere without being consumed in Makueni. What have we done as a county, Honorable Speaker? So, Honorable Speaker, when now the department says that we should allocate funds, I think it's like they are telling us we are the ones who do the budget. Honorable Speaker, this is something we can force through this assembly to have funds, to have a very comprehensive report abstracting water from all the way from Zima Springs and terminating at a place like Makindu, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at
the second question and the third one.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I want to clarify something about how Zima Springs came to go to Mombasa. Mombasa is a city, and that pipeline was laid before the Water Act 2002, amended in 2016, Honorable Speaker. So that time, it was the necessity to serve a city in Mombasa with water. And nobody, as I've stated, raised the issue about getting water from Makueni to Mombasa. So, Honorable Speaker, let's move with speed and do that. Honorable Speaker, the second question is actually answered by the first question, because we know the patriotic citizens of Ivingoni, Zambani and the other wards have been conserving that place. But what have we done to demand for water to come here? So we need those reports, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the third question is the department being requested, being asked what remedy they have taken to on this matter. So, Honorable Speaker, it all boils to the same thing. So, Honorable Speaker, on this particular matter, I'm requesting that we may have an house resolutions on this particular matter, and for that matter, have resolutions which are far-reaching and which can be communicated even to WARA on this particular matter. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm waiting for your directions on this matter, because the people of Makueni are actually waiting for this report. And if there are any demonstrations, Honorable Speaker, if there are any demonstrations which should be planned by this particular assembly, they should be focused on the completion of Dwake and forcing the Ruto government to finish Dwake Dam. Because even the first component has never been complete. In fact, we should be around Arambe House demonstrating, demanding that Dwake should be completed. Because the first component construction of the dam has not been done. We are waiting as the people of Makueni for the water from Dwake Dam to serve the upper parts of Makueni. And nothing is happening. Even in the current budget, there is nothing for Dwake Dam. So Honorable Mwoki, who comes from Mavindini, where Dwake stands, should organize us. And the very powerful Secretary General of Muungano Party should organize us into demonstrating into Arambe House and demand that Ruto should give budget for Dwake Dam. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Chair, I find the response on number 3 too casual, and I was worried because you wanted it to be converted to a report. When you speak authoritatively. But when you wanted to put it down in pen, in a paper, you put it casually. That was my worry. And that's why I wanted you to commit yourself on this matter. Look at this. On question 2, that area along Makindu all the way to Mtituandei, you know, it suffers from acute water scarcity. And then number 3, you proceed and say, both Kibwezi East and Kibwezi West sub-counties, several interventions have been executed. That was too casual. Then, as you thought, I want that authoritative speaking to be converted that report with serious recommendations, observations, and way forward, so that this assembly can adopt that. Thank you. But the chairs, you are the chair. Honorable Mutie, if you need to add any auxiliary question or recommendation, I think by the time the the committee is sitting, ensure you invite the honorable member, because we need to execute payouts or other matters in the assembly. Please, Honorable Mutien, you are so guided, please. I've made a ruling unless you are not following. You can join the committee, please, when they are sitting. Chairperson, Committee on Health, to present a response to a statement number 16 of 2025 as was requested by member for Kikumbulu South regarding level 4 hospital, Kibwezi level 4 hospital. But you are not the chair. You could have the committee sitting. Chair or vice chair? Chair, yep. Member of the committee on health. Before the honorable member made some interjections.
Honorable Speaker, we have the response ready, but the member for Kikumbulu South has some other issues. So I wanted you to allow the member to make his statement before we can proceed.
Thank you,
Honorable Galvin.
thank you.
I hear the report is ready, but we have other issues. What are the issues which you did put down?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I wish to maybe very briefly to withdraw the statement first, then we'll add some more issues, then we can come up with the final statement. Because the statement I had already, it was on a draft stage. Then while I was away, my party secretary general stood in for me and requested the statement without consulting me, because there were issues which we had not put in the statement, and that is why I wish we can withdraw, then we'll come back with another statement on the same. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yeah. Then Chairperson, Committee on Budget and Appropriation Committee, to present a response on the statement number 13 of 2025 as was requested on 12 March 2025 by the member for Emali Mulala Ward regarding the implementation status of the headquarter projects since 2013. Chair Budget or member of the committee? Honorable Mutia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in response to that statement, the member for Emali had requested the implementation status of all HQ projects since 2013. Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we are requesting for 21 more days because, Mr. Speaker, as you realize, right from 2013, when devolution or when this count was formulated, to date, Mr. Speaker, the work is voluminous. We have received responses from all the departments except two, the Department of Health Services, and the committee should take note of that, and the Department on Infrastructure, Roads and Energy. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we are requesting for those 21 days so that, Mr. Speaker, the two departments can submit, and then committee proceeds to make a very good report to this House, kindly, so that nothing or anything is left untouched.
Thank you. The member for Emali Mulala Ward should be notified the 21 days request by the committee on budget. Next order. No, before we go to the next order, Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning, to present a response to a statement number 14 of 2025 as was requested on 9th April 2025 by the member for Mavindini Ward regarding the County Assembly and Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, although the request of the statement is not present, as a committee we are requesting for more time to do this response next week on Tuesday at 2:30 p.m.
Next week?
Yes.
2:30?
Yes.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Special Interests on the oversight exercise on teenage pregnancies across the county conducted on the 23rd and 24th of January 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Special Interest Group, to move a motion for adoption of the committee report on the oversight exercise on teenage pregnancies across the county conducted on 23rd and 24th January 2025. Chair. Member, Vice Chair. Member of the committee?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move the motion while seated due to my health condition. Thank you, Honorable
Proceed.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Special Interest on the oversight exercise on teenage pregnancies across the county conducted on 23rd and 24th January 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 5th April 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the report investigates the rising trend of teenage pregnancies across the county, analyzing the contributing factors, impacts, and potential solutions. The data collected over 5 years highlights a significant increase in teenage pregnancies, with the rate particularly high in rural areas compared to urban centers. Factors identified include limited access to sexual education, socio-economic challenges, and cultural influence that affect family planning decisions. The report explores the socio-economic and health consequences of teenage pregnancies, including increased dropout rates, economic dependency, and higher risk of maternal and infant health complications. Furthermore, it identifies the lack of sufficient health care and support systems as critical barriers to addressing the issue. To mitigate the rise in teenage pregnancies, the report recommends a multi-phased approach involving enhanced sexual education in schools, the availability of youth-friendly health care services, community engagement, and the strengthening of policy frameworks that support teenage mothers. These interventions aim to reduce the prevalence of teenage pregnancies and empower young people with the knowledge and resources needed to make informed decisions about their reproductive health. Through the collective efforts from local governments, healthcare providers, and communities, significant progress can be made in curbing teenage pregnancies and fostering healthier and more educated future generations. The county government of Makueni has made efforts to address teenage pregnancies through Makueni County Adolescence and Reproductive Health. Mr. Speaker, sir, the strategy is called ASRH strategy, community engagement and outreach programs, strengthening school-based health services, establish adolescent-friendly health centers, collaborate with NGOs, and develop stronger enforcement of child protection laws, including the Children Act and the Sexual Offense Act. The county government has further endeavored to protect young people from exploitation and sexual abuse through sensitization campaigns, partners, data collection and monitoring policy, advocacy and legislative support. Kenya Adolescent Sexual and Reproductive Health Policy 2015. Mr. Speaker, sir, in order to execute its mandates effectively, the committee organized for an oversight exercise on teenage pregnancies in the 30 wards. The exercise was conducted on Thursday 23rd and Friday 24th January 2025 and divided its members into 15 groups, which each group are tasked to undertake the exercise across the 30 wards. Objectives. Mr. Speaker, sir, the main objective of the oversight exercise was to collect information on the cause of the high number of cases of teenage pregnancies and the extent to which the county government has implemented the policy direction and intervention as provided for in the Kenya Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health Policy 2015. Methodology. The group in undertaking the activity exercise employed questions and answers session which the members of all the public at the ward with the members of all the public at the wards. The groups also employed the following enumerated terms of reference: TORS, whether there is access to contraception and prenatal care without judgment, are the early detection or high-risk pregnancies, that is pre-existing health conditions or inadequate prenatal care for affected teenagers. D, does the county have a policy or community engagement forum for addressing the teenage pregnancies? How has it helped the situation? How have government institutions helped in reducing social stigma among the affected teenagers? Community to recommend on ways and methods for reducing teenage pregnancies, so reducing teenage pregnancy rates. General findings and observations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the following findings and observations were made from the third ward as follows: that lack of parental guidance, communication and support contributes to teenage pregnancies. That many teenagers engage in early sexual activity due to peer pressure, peer influence and societal norms. That many pregnant teenagers drop out of school due to stigma, lack of support or financial constraint. That there is poor academic performance for those who continue schooling, often struggle with balancing pregnancy, motherhood and studies. 5, that early pregnancies often reduce a girl's chance of further education and career advancement. 6, that maternal mortality rates are high to teenage mothers who face higher risks of complications such as eclampsia, obstructed labor and postpartum hemorrhage. 7, that most babies born to teenage mothers often have low birth weight since they are premature or suffer malnutrition. 8, that teenage mothers lack prenatal care as they do not seek or have access to adequate maternal health care. 9, that teenage mothers struggle financially, especially if they come from low-income background, as many rely on parents' own governmental support. 9, that without education or vocational training, job options remain scarce for young mothers. 10, that many teenage mothers experience mental health challenges due to societal stigma and isolation. 11, that many teenage mothers have limited knowledge about contraception and reproductive health. Barriers such as cost, stigma, and lack of youth-friendly health services prevent usage. 12, that Recent data indicates that the teenage pregnancy rate in Kenya has risen to 19.9 up to 15% as reported in the 2022 Kenya Demographic and Health Survey KDHS. Policies aimed at addressing adolescents' sexual behaviors to address reproductive health have gaps in implementation and enforcement. Challenges identified. The challenges experienced while dealing with issues regarding teenage pregnancies include: 1, socio-economic barriers like poverty compel some families to prioritize immediate financial relief over long-term educational goals for their daughters, and leading to early marriage and pregnancies. 2, cultural norms and practices like early marriages, which contribute to higher rates of teenage pregnancies. 3, limited access to reproductive health services, especially to adolescents in rural areas accessing reproductive health services due to distance, cost, or lack of youth-friendly facilities. 4, teenage pregnancies often result in girls discontinuing in their education, limiting their future opportunities and perpetuating cycles of poverty. 5, pregnant teenagers frequently encounter stigma from their communities and peers, leading to psychological distress and social isolation. 6, despite existing policies aimed at reducing teenage pregnancies, inconsistent implementation and lack of coordination among stakeholders hinder progress. General recommendations. Having considered the general findings and challenges the committee recommended that the county government, through the Department of Gender, should ensure rigorous implementation of current policies aimed at reducing teenage pregnancies with clear accountability and mechanisms. A report on the mechanism should be presented in the county assembly within 6 months after adoption of this report. 2, the county government, through the Department of Gender, should strengthen and enforce laws against child marriage and sexual exploitation. 3, the county government, through the Department of Health Services, should expand youth-friendly services in every health facility in every ward by September 2025 to address teenage pregnancies and other issues regarding adolescents. 4, the county government, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, should integrate age-appropriate sexual and reproductive health education into school curriculum to inform and empower adolescents, and thus the department report to the committees on gender, to the committee on gender, children, youth, sports, and social services by the end of financial year 2026-2027. The county government, 5, the county government, through the Department of Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration, and Special Programs, should encourage parents to actively participate in educating their children about pregnancies. 6, the county government, through the Department of Health Services, should develop policies that support access to sexual reproductive health services for teenagers. 7, county government, through the Department of ICT, Education, and Internship, should ensure proper implementation of comprehensive sex education in schools. 8, there is need for the county government, through the Department of Education, in conjunction with the Department of Gender, introduce and reinforce age-appropriate comprehensive sex education. And 9, there is need for the county government, through the relevant departments, conduct community awareness campaigns to address stigma and myths about teenage pregnancies. Mr. Speaker, sir, On behalf of the committee, special interest groups, I wish to thank the offices of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly for the logistical support accorded to the members of the committee during the oversight exercise. I also take this opportunity to thank the members for their commitment, endurance, and input during the entire exercise. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the committee, it is my pleasant duty to present to the Assembly the committee's report on the oversight exercise on sexual and gender-based violence activities in the county for adoption. And I therefore call Honorable Elizabeth Muthike to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question. I now propose the question that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Special Interests on the oversight exercise on teenage pregnancies across the county conducted on 23rd and 24th January 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 5th April 2025. Honorable members, I wish to invite members for the debate. Agenda time, please. Ring the quorum bell. Sergeant at hand, please stop ringing the quorum bell. Honorable members, the time now being 04:46 hours, this assembly stands adjourned until Monday, 4th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m.